We're kicking off our new series, the Copycat Chronicles. First up, the Whataburger Patty Melt. What's up everybody, James with JB Sous Vide, and I'm so glad to have you back. If you are here to broaden up your sous vide game, this is the place for you. Go down and hit that subscribe button below and buckle up because this patty melt's going to be amazing. Like I said, we're kicking off this new series, and in it we're going to take some iconic dishes and make them at home with sous vide. The Whataburger Patty Melt, iconic in the southern United States for being one of the best fast food items out there. It's certainly high on my list. I love a good Whataburger Patty Melt. But hey, let me go to Whataburger and get myself a patty melt. I'll be right back and we're going to check out what's inside. Alright, the Whataburger Patty Melt. To be honest, I'm kind of underwhelmed. Got like just these thin pieces of toast there. These patties look pretty dismal here. No real sauce dripping out the edges here. But gotta give it a shot because it's supposed to be one of the best. All right, let's take a look here. Yeah, I'm not sure here, guys. We got these thin patties. Looks like we got some sauce and a little bit of onions. Not kind of what I was expecting here. Well, to be honest, that's a little disappointing, but I guess in the end, this copycat's goal is just to make the best patty melt we can make, and we'll try and keep it as close to Whataburger as possible. Starting out, we're going to look to recreate this using sous vide for our beef patty. We'll start this with 80-20 chuck, and we're going to begin by shaping the patties. Whataburger patties aren't exactly square, but I have this thing for making sure that all the bread is used. As you saw with their patties, there was a lot of space on the bread. We're going to look to take that out. Because of this, I like to shape my patties to my bread. I'm making square patties here to match. It's really up to you, but I find this gives me the best coverage with bread to beef ratio. When we sous vide our patties, they don't shrink as much as when they're cooking in the pan, but that doesn't mean there isn't any shrinkage. Because of this, I always like to compare my patties to a piece of Texas toast before I finish, just so I know they're big enough. I'm sure you recognize this piece of bread. It's the heel, and this is the best use for it I've found, a shaping guide for your sandwiches. After being shaped here, we're going to go generously season this with salt. Then we're going to bag them up and drop them in the sous vide. Alright y'all, water bath break. Let's talk patty melt construction. First up, our sauce. We want to get this made up early so that it can sit in the fridge and those flavors can combine. This is going to be a copycat creamy pepper sauce that Whataburger supposedly puts on their patty melts, and also you can get on the side. We're starting here with a base of a half a cup of mayo. We'll add in a teaspoon of salt, tablespoon each of pepper and paprika. Add in a tablespoon of lemon juice and a tablespoon of vinegar. Now we're going to mix that up. Now to add that little kick that sauce has, some chipotles in adobo. We're going to chop up a couple finely and mix them in. How many is going to be a personal preference for you. Now on to the onions. We're going to caramelize some onions here. It's the perfect tool to break up the savoriness of a dish. They're going to go great with a patty melt. We're going to take our caramelized onions in a little bit different direction than the Whataburger onions. I'm going to show you how I do mine. Remember though, give yourself some time with these. They're going to take 30 to 35 minutes to do perfectly. Let's get it. For chopping up your onions, you're going to take our yellow onion here, cut it in half, then take off the front section, peeling off the skins. We're also going to take off this root side. For slicing, we're going to slice pole to pole as they call it, and And we'll call this about 1/8 of an inch thick, I guess. Yeah, sure. Now when you get to an end like this, all you gotta do is turn it 90 degrees and keep slicing. Let's go ahead and cook them. We're gonna start with our pan over medium-high heat. We'll add in some olive oil. Once the oil is shimmering, we're gonna get and add in our onions. You're gonna wanna hear that sizzling sound. Now once you stir the onions and get them all distributed in the oil, you're gonna let them brown, not burn. If you see them burning, turn down your heat a little bit. So for these first 5 to 10 minutes, you're gonna let them sit and then move them around every so often just to get some even browning. Once they're brown like this, we're gonna turn down the heat to low. Now we're gonna season. We're gonna start out with a tablespoon of salt and a tablespoon of sugar. Now for the next 25 minutes, the biggest thing will be not touching them often and letting the heat do its job. Every 5 minutes or so, you're gonna stir them. Through this process, you're gonna wanna taste for salt. When they look like this, nice, jammy consistency, they're ready for your patty melt. All right, time's up on our patty. We're gonna put a good sear on it. But first, let's talk about cheese. You can do it whatever way you want. This is just the way I do it. Typically, a patty melt only has Swiss on it. I find with only Swiss, it's kind of a one-dimensional note. So what I do is I add in some American. Swiss and American. You can do whatever combination makes you happy, but I would recommend doing 2 cheeses. For the sear, we're gonna take our carbon steel pan and heat it up dry on medium-high heat. Patty going in, and we're gonna use this heavy grill press to sear it for about a minute. We'll flip it over, and we're gonna add one of our slices of cheese. Now we can take it out. All right, the sauce is ready, the caramelized onions are done, the patty's seared. Let's get to the bread and start building this patty melt. A good patty melt starts with good bread. Traditionally, a patty melt is made on rye bread, but Whataburger goes a different direction here, and we're gonna stay in that same vein and use some thick Texas toast. We're gonna brown the bread just like if we were doing a grilled cheese or even that lobster toast video which we did a couple weeks back. I'll link that up the top here. We're gonna spread a thin layer of mayo on both sides. Now take it to our pan. We're gonna turn our pan to medium low and brown one side of the bread. When that side is nice and brown, flip them over and we can start building. First, we're gonna put our sauce down on both sides. Next, the caramelized onions. Both sides now, y'all. Then the remaining cheese. You guessed it, both sides. Now we'll just close it up and continue cooking. You're done when the cheese is melted and the bread is a deep brown golden color on both sides. Boom. Cross section for the fans. All right, y'all, let's see how we did here. I've been waiting for this all day long. I'm pretty excited about it. I think we knocked it out of the park, but you be the judge. Look at that. Perfect. Perfect patty. That cheese. I love that combination of that American and that Swiss. Really gives kind of a different flavor profile to it. Let's dive in here. Boy, that's good. Oh, man. Oh, I love patty melts. Man, just that first bite, that savoriness with the different types of cheese and the caramelized onions just adds that just great flavor to it. The chipotle sauce pops. I love that chipotle sauce. It's got such a better flavor profile than the just standard sauce that's kind of mass produced for everybody. With making your own sauce, you really can dial in how you like it. You can add more chipotles, which I did. You add some more pepper to get that really pepper flavor, and I just need another bite. Oh, those onions, cutting them into strips like that, so much better than the little squares. You just get so much more flavor from it. I feel like with the squares, you just burn them, or you don't really caramelize them that much. All right, I'm gonna go eat the rest of this. If you got something out of this video, go down there and hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and go watch another video on the channel. We got something great for you.